I got to take mine. At first I seem friendly, but that's just in me. I warn you, when I blow it gets a little windy. You make me wanna fight you. I ain't nothing like you. Y'all paper thin, my shit recycled. They call me Little Kim, aka Cover Girl. Sometimes I feel like I'm from another fucking world. Niggas buy me glass slippers and diamond fingernails. Oh shit, I got it all in this bitch.
Goodness gracious, the papers. Where the cash at? Where the stash at? Nigga, pass that. We rolling a tip to Nash. TV's in the dash. See, we got a cash. Goodness gracious, the papers. Where the cash at? Where the stash at? Nigga, pass that. We rolling a tip to Nash. TV's in the dash. See, we got a cash.
To all my bitches in the strip club, shaking their ass. I ain't mad to your thing, mommy. Get that cash. You know my hustling niggas still out in the ass, fighting over blocks, and we got the best rocks. And goodness gracious, the struggle never stops. The things we all do to keep our pockets doing knots. People fuck to my music. They say it's
Hey, we getting 100 real today. Stick with me.
I fuck with dudes with members only jackets that sleep on brass beds with money for a mattress. Getting money, bitch, and I roll with dimes. Take pictures with our nines on the cover of New York Times. Tattoos down our spine with a picture of a dime. Cutting niggas short like it makes for phone time. Everything I get is custom made. Niggas wanna get laid, I gotta get paid.
Good morning. It is me, it is Wyatt, it is us this morning again. Let me be honest with you and tell you that it is another beautiful day today. I tried to get my run in this morning. Woo! You know, for those that don't know, I do 3 miles. I used to do 3 miles a day. Trying to keep up with your health. Health is very important. And generally, I try to do 3 miles every morning before I get my day started. That's actually how I start my day, which it hasn't been that way here lately. The last week and a half, almost 2 weeks now, it's going on. I have not been able to do 3 miles. So as you get up in age, those things don't get easier. So I'm down to 1.25 miles, maybe a little over a mile. I'll give myself that extra quarter just on, GP. But listen, I just wanted to go over, today is the day, folks. Today is the day that I want to call it the corporate stimulus package kicks in today. So if you have a business, an existing business, for the last few days, I've been trying to explain some of the pros and cons, the ins and outs of this stimulus package for the businesses. And unfortunately, I'm not showing my diversity in conversation because this seems to be the master of what's going on. Now, quite honestly, there are a few people in my DM that are asking me to talk about things from boxing to how to start a business and how to do a whole lot of different things. And I'll be honest with you, this is how I know that this platform, this stage, is not a selfish act for me. I almost felt that way because the joy and the excitement that I get to speaking to so many people. I almost felt a little selfish, but now I'm starting to understand that there is a purpose. And the reason why I say that is because I get a lot of messages of people asking me things that they probably don't have anywhere else to go with that. They don't have anywhere else to ask. They don't have anyone else to ask. They don't know anyone in a position or in a situation or who have maybe faced what they're facing right now, man. And I'm going to tell you something. I love it. Give it to me. I'm one of them guys that don't like I won't hold back information. If there's any way that I can help you, especially if it's not financially, if it's information, I'll give it to you, man. I don't have a problem working with people. I just have a problem working with people that have ill will intentions. If I know you going in with ill will, I don't really work with people like that. I don't like people who don't want to help other people. I'm a chain gang type of guy. I hate to use that terminology because it's kind of a bad situation, but I am a bootstrap guy. I'm a guy that likes to bring someone along with me, and I expect them to bring people with them. I'm just cut like that. So when we start getting more people like that, we'll have more success. Because what a lot of people don't understand is, man, trying to do what you're trying to do right now, whatever's in your playbook, whatever's on your plan, whatever's in your list of things to do, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to do it on your own. There's no way. There's not one person I know in business. There's not one athlete. There's not one person on this planet that I could honestly co-sign and say they did it on their own. Now, I'm not saying they weren't the majority of the league. Yes, there has to be an alpha, but there also has to be people in place to be able to make things maneuver and make things move. So unless you're cut like that, if you're not the type of person that believes that you can hand a task off to somebody and let them run with it, it's going to be hard for you to be successful. Let me tell you what happens. Let me tell you one thing that happens. A lot of people overwork. There's a difference between working smart and just working. Sometimes people feel like they have to do everything in a business. We feel like we have to be the janitor, the CEO, and I mean everything in between those stages. And it's very difficult to do that. That is really, let me just say this to you, okay? And I use this because I'm familiar with a lot of hairstylists and barbers, but bruh, sis, if you in that stylish place, if you in there doing everything, if you the one that got to sweep up the hair, if you the one that got to go make sure that the toilet is not working right or is working right and all that old stuff, it's going to be very difficult for you to get to the next level. And I only use that as an example because that's just a simple way of saying you can't do it all. Hire a little guy or a little girl on the weekends to come in and sweep up the hair. Get somebody to do that type of stuff that you can give $5 or $10 to. I mean, I'm not trying to teach anybody how to run their business. All I'm saying is it's good practice. It's really good practice to learn how to delegate some things. I promise you, you'll be more productive as a business person when your mind is at ease that certain things are getting done. You can't do it all. You cannot do it all. And what made me bring that up this morning was the simple fact that today is the day. Today is Friday, business owners. I want to shed some light. I'm gonna shed some darkness and some light to this situation. And I'm gonna be honest with you and tell you that I may have oversold this situation at one point. Not on purpose, not intentionally. But this thing was swinging in so many different directions. This stimulus package for businesses, I was keeping up with it. I made it my baby. I tried to learn the ins and outs, and I still don't know everything about it. But I wanted to know so I could, for those that don't read or comprehend things, if you think I'm being disrespectful, I'm not, because I was that guy growing up. I'm not a big reader. I never read a lot and then comprehended it. I guess I was slow. I don't know. But I try to make it easy for you. And I want to read it. I want to understand it. And I want to make you understand it in the way that we as small businesses can understand it. I don't want you to look at all that small print. And I don't want you to look at certain things and get confused and get... Sometimes that confusion leads doubt, and where there's doubt, your motivation goes away. No, I want to try to help you get to where you want to be. Now, let's start right now. Today is the day that you can file. You could have filed some time ago for these SBA loans and PPP loans, okay? But today is the day that the banks have it in their hands. In other words, in my local city here in Cincinnati, PNC, Fifth Third, credit unions, some of the other smaller institutions, U.S. Bank, not U.S. Bank being small, but U.S. Bank being one, smaller bank institution, credit unions, all of those guys have access to this government money. I think it's $350 million. Now, I made a live the other day. I don't know how many people actually watched it. I know quite a few did because I got some DMs on it, some questions about it. quite frankly, if you're a new business, and I mean you're just forming like last week or this year or something, right at the corona hit, let's just say that, it's going to be very difficult for you to get those loans. I was under the impression at the beginning of this, before they put any legislation in place, I was under the impression that they were going to allow people to do fresh starts. And what I mean by that are new businesses. Well, what these loans are for, quite frankly, are for businesses that exist. And the forgiveness part of it is going to be those that can show that their employees are still working, that they're bringing them back. I don't know. See, I'm a little confused on that, quite frankly, because there's a stay-at-home order, and a lot of these businesses that are closed, you bringing your employee back is a little confusing to me, because I don't know how you can bring, let's say, a restaurant owner. How are you going to bring 32 people back to work for you when you can't open as a business? I know it better be some clean walls and some shampoo carpet in there and some clean silverware. That's all I can tell you. Because I'm assuming the reason why they're doing that is to knock down the unemployment filings. I don't understand it, quite frankly. It's kind of it adds a little skepticism in me. I don't know why. Y'all know I'm a half full kind of guy. I don't understand that move. I don't understand. And it's only good for 8 weeks. Okay. So they're giving you enough money for payroll, for utilities, for, your rent, if you pay rent or mortgages on your property as a business owner. This is what the money is really meant for. And those are the things that will be forgiven. On the SBA loan, I'm not going to talk about this long, so stick with me. I got other hot topics. I just want to let you guys know a catch up, because today is the day. The SBA loan is going to be a situation where the first $10,000 is more of a grant. That loan, I believe, has a 3.75 interest rate for 30 years. It's almost like financing a mortgage. But the first 10,000 is a grant, so that's free money. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and do it. But you have to be an existing business, and you're going to have to fit in certain criterias. You're going to have a staff. Now, it is for sole proprietors as well. Okay, it's for individuals who own the business. They're the only employee, but you're going to have to show that you have a payroll, because they want this money to be used to throw back into the economy and keep people working and things of that nature. This is not, I could be totally wrong, but the damn near 300 pages that I've been reading over the last few days, I mean, I'm telling you, I just don't think that this money is for a new startup. It's almost impossible. And the other thing, once the 350 million is gone, it's gone. They're going to have to rewrite a whole nother situation. They're going to have to do it again. All right. A new stimulus package. So let me say this to you. Here's the dark side of what I seen in this. Sorry, I got to bring the real for those that want to know. I told you that relationships are very important in business. The one thing I did not like about this stimulus package for businesses is the fact that the government, you're not applying with them directly. To me, we go back to the good old boy situation. Now, unfortunately, I have to say some things, because I have some friends that are in those good old boy, and I don't mean to be disrespectful to those guys. They have position because they have big business, and some of them watch. They may not plug in, but I know you watch. Some of them watch, some of their family watch, and they go back and say what Wyatt said. I know they do. And I'm just gonna let you guys know. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna go to my guy Jesse Carradine. I'm gonna go to one of his playbook moves, and I'm gonna keep it raw and direct for you on this. It's gonna be tough for the average guy to get this money. The money is there and available, but there's only so much money. You're talking 30 million, if I'm not mistaken, 30 million small businesses in America that are registered. Over 30 million. I'm not trying to discourage anyone, but there are going to be some big boys in our local city. I'm going to use Cincinnati as an example. Everybody has a manufacturer in their local city that does potato chips and all this old stuff. You go to any city, we have Grippos here in Cincinnati. In other places, it's going to be Tito's or whatever. I don't know. But in our city, we have businesses that have been businesses in our city for 30, 40 plus years. All right. They're well-established companies. They're small, city-owned companies, family-owned companies. Those guys are going to be lined up for this money. They're going to get first dibs. They're what I call red line companies. I don't mean to put anybody on blast. I don't mean to be that guy that's trying to sound like a hater. I don't want to be any of that. But you have Jeff Ruby, who owns multiple restaurants in this city, who's been in the news, who's done many, many good things in the community as far as being able to provide bottled water in bad times, been able to put people in positions that he can help. I don't have any problems with people like that. I don't. But they also get a lot of the news media, the news coverage, and they're in positions. It's a 4-star restaurant. They're in positions to do certain things. The Gold Star Chili's, the Skyline Chili's, they employ a lot of people. The La Rosas, they employ a lot of people, and they have better relationships with these banks. I can guarantee you. They have bankers, they have accountants, they have people in touch with these banks. So they're going to be able to get the 2.5 times the amount of money that they're going to need. Plus, they're going to be able to have the cosign of the mayor, the city manager, things of that nature. Now, some might think I'm being negative here. I'm just a realistic person that has common sense, and I apply it. It's going to be hard for me to get money over those guys or with those guys. Those guys do a lot more in our area than I do. Okay, so I understand, but they're valuable to the city in a certain sense, but we're valuable too. So I'm not discouraging everybody or anybody not to go apply for this money. I'm not encouraging, I'm not telling you. You can walk into a bank today. If your paperwork is right, based on what the government is telling us, we're eligible. We should be able to qualify for our payroll times 2.5 for 8 weeks. All right. And the first 10,000 of that SBA is a grant. You don't even have to pay it back, but you have to show your rent or mortgage. You have to show your payroll. There's going to be, just go to sba.org online and look at the application. I can't go over it. It's only going to take you about 15, 20 minutes at the max to read it. There's no hidden tricks. There's no mirrors. There's none of that involved. Okay. Well, the PPP, Ms. O'Neill, is different. Okay. The SBA is going to be something that's available to apply for today. The PPP is a little bit different. That's the main one that they continue to tweak. And I believe that one will be ready next week. All right. That's what they're saying. They're saying, I'm assuming, based on what I've been reading and what I've been seeing in the statute, they're looking to make some adjustments on the forgiveness process and program, and how much one company can get. At one point, one company could get up to $10 million. Folks, don't let these numbers scare you. People tend to run off when they hear big numbers because they don't think they can get it. One of the biggest failures, one of the biggest things that people do in life is underestimate yourself. You underestimate what you can do. And then sometimes we put too much ahead before we start our process. So we got to find an even keel somewhere. We got to be aggressive, but we don't want to be too aggressive. So let's find out where we are. Let's find out our medium. Let's find a place where people feel very comfortable with us and stick with us. I'll give you a perfect example. Me. And I hate to say that, but it's true. Me. And I'm going to say me because of this. This platform right here. I'll use it as an example for 10 seconds. I see a consistency of certain people that watch. And then I see a consistency of certain people that tune in for 10 seconds and then go away. So I know what they want to hear, and then I know what they don't want to hear. So that's fine. My platform will never change. I'll never get on here and talk bad about anybody. If my conversation turns into something negative, it's only because it's something that you need to hear. Okay, I will never just go negative on somebody so you can avoid them. But I will go into a realistic situation so you can maybe I can prevent you from falling in a a trap or a bad situation. So with that being said, today is the day. Let me ask you, and I want to know in my DMs later on or today sometime or even now, send a message. How many of you guys that have businesses, how many of your bankers reached out to you? How many have received a phone call from your small CPA or your accountant? How many? I'm waiting. I'll wait to see those DMs, because this is a time for us to reevaluate everything. I don't want to go back too much to what we were talking about yesterday, but this is an opportunity for us to really see our true value, front end and back end. For those that don't understand, the front end of your business is your face. The back end of your business is the business end, the business part of it, the paperwork, the assets, the liquidation, the business, the guts, the hard shit. What's the value of it? Okay, Phillips, I got you. Sorry about that. I wanted to read that one because I maybe thought it was something about somebody's accountant. But yes, I agree with you. Sometime being real. See, what happens is we fallen in this trap. Just like the snitching situation. I ain't gonna get into that. But sometimes people think you're a hater because you tell the truth. And I don't know where that manipulative shit came from. It's ridiculous. But there are some people that believe that when you tell the truth or when you keep shit what they call real, that you're a hater. And I don't understand it. You're never going to make it in business if you're sitting back using terminology and analogies, and you're trying to make shit work, but you live off of those principles, because you're basically fooling yourself. All right. So in business, you're going to have to be a hater, because if I'm not mistaken, a hater is someone that could really come forward and tell the truth and tell you what it is. I guess the way you present it might have a lot to do with it. I mean, I'm not just going to, keep my foot on somebody's throat when it come down to certain things, but I will let you know the truth about what I know. Now, these loans, I was asking, how many people have gotten receipts? Phone calls from their CPAs, their bankers. How many people have gotten those? I'm curious, because they don't have a problem calling you, asking you, hey, we got this new interest-bearing checking account. We have this new whatever. They don't have any problem reaching out to you when it's time for them to get their money or when business is slow for them. All right. So you may want to reevaluate your value with the companies and the people that you're dealing with today to now. Now, this is a perfect time to see that. Reevaluate everything, who you're dealing with. If my banker didn't reach out to me, I probably would have an issue. And that's why I'm bringing this to you now. If people that control some of the things that I've put in place were not touching out and reaching to make sure I was good and asking me if I wanted to do some things or move some things around, I would have an issue with that. I would have a true issue with that, because I wouldn't think that they were really looking out for my best interests. So with that all being said, I really didn't want to shed any negative light. I just wanted to keep shit real today. And I just wanted to let you guys know today is the day. Go online. We can't go to the bank, so we can't show our face. So when you can't show your face, does your name ring a bell with these people that you walk into their office or their banking institutions every day? Who do you know at your credit union? Let me say something to you. I don't know how many credit unions in my city actually do small business accounts, but I'm going to tell you, small business owners, right now, small businesses have to stick together. And I'm going to tell you what I would do right now. And I'm going to not only preach it, I'm going to practice it. I am going to move some things to a small credit union, a small banking institution when this shit is all over with. Listen, I'm not a Mr. Know-it-all, okay? I'm learning in this process as well. It's just that I'm learning in a different capacity. And I am going to learn the way I've learned everything in my life. I'm a hands-on guy, okay? I didn't read a book. I didn't go to the University of Kick Your Ass. That's where I graduated from. I didn't go to the University of Learn how to do this shit real fast. I didn't go to that school. You know, I went to a hard knock school. I went to a school where I had to lose and hit my head up against the wall a lot of times in order to learn a few things. And we all have. The key to it is, how do you apply what you learned? And what I'm telling you guys, my suggestion, I am no certified public accountant. I am no mogul at this, but I am going to tell you something. When this dust clear, because it will pass, I am going to move some of my things around. I am going to move. All right, Leah, I seen that. My sister just texted me. I'm sorry, guys. I am going to move some of my business around to smaller institutions, and I am going to build a relationship with those guys. Did it take this Corona thing for me to learn that? Kind of, sort of. I was already in the mode of knowing and learning people well before this. Well before this. I gave you a story the other day about how I even knew the security guard when I walked into my bank, PNC Bank. I knew the security guard. I knew every bank teller. I knew when they were going on vacation. That's building relationships. That's people that know you. So if I had to call one of my bankers today, the bank that's not open, I could call Phil and be like, hey, Phil, this is what I'm thinking. I may not be his favorite guy, but you know me. You feel me? You know me, Phil. So that all I'm saying to you, it's building relationships. Smaller businesses, smaller institutions such as credit unions, small savings and loans. Those companies, they're just as functional as your major banks. Give it a shot. Give it a try. Watch how they treat you. They'll treat you different, better. No disrespect to U.S. Bank. They've been great. They've been great for me. PNC, a little different situation. I've spent many years with PNC, and something happened, and we went our separate ways. And it was no beef. I'm just saying, I respect them, and I expect them to respect me the same way. I'm not getting off track. Pull your money. I don't care if it's $100, $50. Find out from those credit unions here locally and in your city. Find out who has brand new business accounts. Go learn the staff. Learn the small banking people there. It's very important that those people know you. And if I have to explain to you why, then you haven't learned anything through this whole disaster, this whole crisis that's going on right now. It's my suggestion to you. All right, because you'll need them and they'll need you. I had a DM question me, a question in my DM that was questioning something that I said. And I just want to be honest with you guys and tell you that I don't come off as being a Mr. Know-it-all. I try not to do that. I try to give you me. I try to give you what I know. I try to give you my experiences and what has worked for me. And some people really, I understand this, but I'm going to say this in a way that's going to sound kind of ridiculous. Some people can only learn by the negative or the wrong. Some people can't see like how people did something and learn from what they did and see the good things. They can't really look at it that way. They have to know what you went through, the rough times, in order to get there, to appreciate it, or to figure, oh, I can absorb that, I can do that, I can get through that. Everybody has different lenses, and we learn different, we see things different. For me, I'm the type of person that needs to learn probably the rough way myself, to be honest with you. But that's lightened up over the years. That's lightened up over the last 10 years. I've learned to not take on the struggle as much. I've learned to maybe slow down, learn a process, and I've learned that you let your pennies add up to make dollars versus risking $1 to make hundreds. So when you learn to slow down, you'll learn a little bit more that a pace is what it takes to be successful. Let me just say, I don't want to discourage anyone from these SBA loans and this PPP loan. I don't want to discourage you. I just want you to know that it's going to be very difficult for you to get that money if you're just trying to start a business now. It's not for that. Some people will say they disagree. Some people will say, I don't know what I'm talking about. I say to you, go ahead and apply, regardless of what I say. Regardless of what I say. What are you going to do when they send this stimulus money out? What are you going to do with it? Quite frankly, a lot of people need it. A lot of people need it to survive. A lot of people need it. This is an opportunity for you to say to yourself, if this ever happens again, will I be prepared? This shit ain't gonna happen to me again. You know, I used to be a guy years ago that would really be hard on how people spent their money. I had my reasons of feeling that way. I'm ashamed of some of them. All right. I'm speaking my truth. I'm ashamed that I judge people on how they spent their money. But that was only because I was the type of guy who just chose to do different shit with mine. And what I mean by that is, I had a person in my life, a cousin, who would party. And this is a cousin. I don't want to get too deep because they may be watching. I had somebody in my family that would party all freaking month. Wore better clothes than me and my family. Wore better glasses. Had all the shit. Had all the fun over the weekend. Did everything they was just living their best life. And at the end of the month, they would always come to me and need $130 or $120 to pay their rent, or $50 to pay their phone bill. And they had children. She had children. And I'm saying to myself, you knew you was going to have to pay your rent at the end of the month. Why but they stayed out at the club, partied, and blah, blah, blah. That put a bad taste in my mouth. And that made me feel the way I feel about how people were spending their money. And unfortunately, I judge a lot of people based on my one situation. And, that's not right. But I'm speaking my truth, okay? We all got some shit that we do that just ain't right. And we have to check ourselves. And, I told y'all I self-check every day. At the end of the day, at night, some get on their knees and pray, which I don't pray on my knees. I pray in the bed. But right after my prayers, before my prayers, actually, I self-check. And then sometimes I throw those in my prayers. And I'm not about to get preachy into all that. I'm just telling you that self-checking opens yourself up to a lot of things that you may not have to go through. One of the things that I wanted to talk about today was not just the SBA. It was, I had somebody in my DM talk about how do I get past dealing with people. They were asking me, they said, you say that you can deal with people that you don't even like and you do it in business. That's very hard for me to do. How do you do that? And I said, well, just because you don't like someone, that doesn't mean you can't do business with them. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't watch them either. It just means that the business is what you have in common. Your makeup, your attitude, and the things that you guys do when you leave the office or leave the business, they may not have anything to do with each other. So you have to learn how to separate those. And that's how I do it, or maybe what I'm doing is detrimental to what they need and vice versa. They may add something to me where I really, really need those people, but I just don't agree with how they live or what they do. I don't know. I don't know. Put yourself in a situation and just do it. Just do it. Be like Nike. Just do it, man. A lot of people think that this shit is difficult or hard to figure out. No, it's not hard to figure out. What's hard to do is to get up and just do it. Make it happen. Do what you have to do to make it happen. Ladies, I'm going to give you a perfect example. Single moms. Y'all make that shit happen, don't you? The hardest shit in the world is to be a single parent out there. Working a job. You got to find daycare. You got to get to school, drop the kids off. You got to do a lot of shit. Big ups to you. Big ups to you. You got to do a lot of shit. But guess what you do? You make it happen. You make it happen. You take them same principles because your business is your baby. All right. You got to take them same principles and that same struggle and that same grind. When you birth that business, you got to take care of it just like you birthed it. There is no other love. There's no different love. You have to put that business first. You're going to hurt feelings. You're going to hurt yourself. You're not going to be able to eat the way you want to eat. You're not going to be able to have the kind of fun you want to have. Believe it or not, this is going to sound kind of ridiculous because people won't believe it. But my first business, I didn't even have a car. I rode the bus. Yes, the Metro. I rode the Metro. The very first business that I felt was a real business for me, I had to ride the bus to go out and do it. I had to ride the bus to the community that I was trying to sell my product in and ride the bus back to my house, to my grandmother's house. So nobody on this planet can give me an excuse of why they can't make it. I don't want to hear somebody slowing you down. I don't want to hear, the man got his foot on my throat. I don't want to hear I've been to jail and ain't nobody giving me no chance. I don't want to hear that shit because guess what? There's too many people out here that need you. You ever heard somebody say, I can't get a job? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can get a job. You can absolutely get a job. Now, you may not get that job that you want, but you can get a job. See, when I hear somebody say they can't get a job, that sounds ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that everybody is getting the job that they necessarily want, the one that they apply for, the one that they will die for. I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying everybody's doing that. But what I'm saying is you can get a 9-to-5 until you get what's really meant for you. And you don't even know that might be your calling. That thing that you didn't really want to do, there's a lesson there somewhere. There's a lesson in that thing that you really don't want to do. There's been a lot of things in my life that I've gone through that I was like, what the hell is God sending me this route for? Why am I dealing with this asshole dude, man? Why do I have this supervisor like that? Why do I have this boss like this? Damn. All I've learned, hear me if you don't hear anything I've said. Everything you go through is for a reason. This corona shit, everybody won't survive it, but majority will survive it. What are you going to get out of it? What are you going to get out of it? What are you learning out of this? You're not just learning how to be safe and protect yourself from germs. There's way more. It's bigger than that. What have you learned in this process? You know, I know that I learned I need to go to a smaller bank. I know that I'm going to do business with smaller businesses in certain aspects of certain things that I do. I hire contractors all the time. I don't call big paint shops. I call the dudes that I know, the small guys that I know that are going to do just as well of a job. And I'm going to pay them the same wage that I would have paid if I called the big box company, the big stores. I'm going to pay them the same wage. Stop negotiating with small businesses. You don't walk in Foot Locker and ask them to take $20 off of a pair of shoes. So stop going into them small shoe stores, them small stores, you know, and asking them for a deal. Stop doing that. You're not helping. You saving an extra $10. All you did was mentally win. That's all you've done. You have not done anything but feel good because you got over for $10 and you're going to go jack that $10 up somewhere else. Stop going to the shoe stores and negotiating, or to the clothing stores of small businesses and negotiating and asking for discounts and this and this and this and that. Stop doing that. Be fair. Now, there's going to be some people that be like, bruh, I'm saving as much money. No, don't look at it like you're saving so much money for yourself and blah, blah, blah. You're not really doing that. You're not really doing that. Trust what I'm telling you. You have just pissed off a small business owner who made a sale. But let me tell you what they say about you when you leave. Y'all know. Y'all know what y'all say. We know what we say. We're happy to get the sale because we need it. We have to have it. Never thought that I would say that publicly. Never thought that I would say not to negotiate. Never thought that I would say publicly not to find the best deal. Never thought that I would say that. But the importance of spreading the money around and using small businesses is very important. It's very important. Hey, Mr. Luther.
How you doing, Wyatt?
All right, brother, you good?
Nah, I was waiting on Rick.
Okay, well, feel free to go in, man. We get it done.
Okay, you gonna show me what you want?
What?
On the paint.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
All right, well, you just wait for Rick.
I was waiting on Rick.
Okay, that's cool. Sorry about that. That's one of the contractors that I have that's working on a property. But all I'm saying to you guys is learn to respect small business, because look at what the government is doing right now. They're learning they're learning how important us small businesses are, what we really are to the country right now. This is a wake-up call to them too. This is a wake-up call. 30 plus million registered small businesses, independent contractors, real estate agents, painters, construction workers, insurance agents. We're out here, and we're very important to this cause called America. So listen, I want to end on this note. Don't let me discourage you from going out and getting what you need. If you're looking for one of those loans, man, put your best foot forward and go get it. Go to the websites at every one of these banks and apply. Just go ahead and do it. See what happens. I can't wait to read my DMs on this one. I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to see what the reaction will be. And you know what? You don't have to share with me the amount of money that you get, but I sure would like to know who got a loan. That's very important to me to know, because I want to hope that I have something to do with it. I want to hope this platform helped you. I want to hope that it helped you get over whatever you were thinking or whatever doubts you may have had. Or I want to hope that it encouraged you to move forward. And I want somebody to prove me wrong. I want a new startup to hit me up and say, Wyatt, you don't know shit. I got a business. I'm starting a painting company. I applied for the loan and I got it. Listen, I hope I'm wrong. And if you do that, let me know. Believe it or not, I get a ton of DMs of what type of business people are in case I need them. I love it, because let me tell you what I'm starting to do. I collect all that data and I get all that information and I separate it. Yeah, believe it or not, I was never an analytical person. I've never been the type of person that was big on, I'm a numbers guy. I'm not a read something and comprehend it too well type of guy. I never was. I guess I'm in the second half of my life and things are changing. But I'm going to be honest with you and tell you I'm a numbers man. And one thing I will do is I separate all these businesses. And believe it or not, I'm going to start DMing people back. And when I see this person and that person, and if I can connect some dots and say to them, you know, this person needs that service and that service needs this person, you know, whatever I can do to help, I really want to help you. And if it doesn't cost me any money, if all it costs me is time, I got plenty of that. I don't have a lot to waste, but I got plenty of time, if you understand what I'm saying. So on that note, man, do something good for somebody today. It's not going to kill you, I promise you. You can't hold the door for them today, but you can reach out to somebody. You can tell them, just checking on you. This is a beautiful, perfect time to do it. Too much crisis going on in the world right now, and people will appreciate it. You know, every once in a while you'll be surprised. I get more DMs about what we talk about here than I do personal ones, and people asking, checking in on me. I don't really get that often, to be honest with you. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. Just the fact that people listen and follow and say hello, that's enough for me. But you'll be surprised. There's somebody at home right now who sent out 4 or 5 hey, how you doings and didn't get one in return. They feel good about what they've done, but man, you can make their day if they hear from you today. You'll make their day. Let them know that you're here morally. Let them know, man, I'm just checking in on you, making sure you're good. I have a few friends that I do that to. I have people that I don't even talk to. I just reach out every once in a while and say, hey, I just want to make sure you're good. Just checking in on you. You'll be surprised how that feel, how that makes them feel. How do you feel when somebody do that for you? All right. Try that today. Reach out to somebody. Just say how they doing. I know you got the time to do it. All right. I love you guys. Any questions or comments, man, send them to me. Let's get in on it. Let's crash that system and go get this money. Let's try to get these businesses going. And remember, when you get your money, start using smaller banking institutions. Go talk to that banker that you want to open up at credit union, small savings and loans companies. Go talk to them. Take your check there. Take your check there. Get established. Get to know those people. More importantly, let those people know you. Until tomorrow, we'll get at it again. Man, I love y'all. I really do. Talk to you later.